Hi, it's Vishali. So Chelsea have beaten West Brom 4-0 at the same ground where they clinched a Premier League title in May. It was a really impressive showing from Antonio Conte's side, made possible by some really fine individual displays from the likes of Eden Hazard, Cesc Fabregas, Alvaro, Morata, N'Golo Kante, Andreas Christensen. I mean, I really could go on. It was a superb team performance, but I want to focus in and start off this vlog by looking at Hazard, because he scored 2 goals today in the game, and he played a huge role in Alvaro Morata's opener, which came at an important time because West Brom had started that game off really well. I mean, they were under a lot of pressure because they hadn't won in quite a while. But yeah, so Hazard was really impressive, and for me it was interesting to see that his goals and it kind of came as a reaction to play not stopping before Morata's goal, because of course he went down the pitch and play continued on, and it didn't stop. And after he got back up, I mean, it looked like he had hurt his leg, and after he got back up, he started complaining to the referee, and then next thing you know, he forced Ben Foster into a save, and of course Morata finished off the move, and it led to the opener, and then he went on to score a goal, and then of course he got his second in the second half. But it was a really impressive display from Hazard, and I think it shows that not only is he content with doing all the hard work on the pitch in terms of off the ball stuff, he also wants to now start getting the end product. He wants to get the goals, he wants to get the assists as well, and that's obviously what he's in the team for. But this was a really good showing from a player who is now 100% fit, as Conte pointed out after the game, and that's going to be huge for Chelsea going into this congested fixture list. Of course, we've got Carabao in the Champions League, and they've got Liverpool in the Premier League. But I also want to point out and praise Cesc Fabregas, because today he got 2 assists, and for me he's really freed up in this new kind of 3-man midfield where you've got Bakayoko and Kante doing the more defensive side of the work in midfield, and he is free to be more of a creative force, which is what he thrives on. And you've seen that particularly since Kante has come back. He has been freed, and that's why he's getting the assists, and he's linking up so well with Hazard, with Morata, and now you look at that team and you think that Fabregas has to start every game. Before it wasn't necessarily the case. You could make an argument for other players needing to be in that side. I mean, he's keeping Pedro out of the team in this new formation, so that's obviously a good thing for Conte, that he's getting the best out of Fabregas, a player who obviously has such a lot of quality when it comes to that creative aspect. And Morata as well, he did really well today, because of course he got a goal, he got an assist, and of course after scoring that goal against United, he's come back after the international break, he's continuing to score the goals, and he just, what a signing he looks to be for Chelsea. Now I want to talk about David Luiz next, because the question really is will he play against Carabao in the Champions League? Will he even get his starting spot in defence back now? So of course you all probably know what happened with David Luiz, in that he was dropped for that game against United, but it's believed that during the international break, because of course he wasn't with Brazil, he trained really well. He showed a really positive attitude. I mean, he's a kind of guy who has a positive attitude anyway, but he put his head down, he worked really hard, and there was a lot of talk about whether or not he'd start against West Brom, and a lot of people thought he would, even though Christensen has been in such good form and has been so solid. Now, he didn't in the end. He was back in the squad though, which is showing that Conte, he's not going to, omit him from his squads going forward. He gave him the chance to come back into that team, but David Luiz didn't necessarily look that impressed in warm-up in the game. And the question really is, will he start against Carabao? I actually think he will start against Carabao, and the reason why I say that is because it's tough for Conte at the moment. Christensen, it's hard to keep him out of the side when he's playing so well, but if you start to sideline a player like David Luiz, a player who's been so key to Chelsea since returning to the club, it could be a huge concern, because you don't want him to feel like he doesn't have a place in the squad, and you don't want him to feel like he might want to leave the club that he has done so well at. But it's a difficult juggling act, I think, for Conte. I think he's probably got his point across, when it comes to Luiz and it comes to other players, in that if you question my tactics, if you know, any kind of dissent in any way, you're not going to play. I think he's gotten his point across. I think now it's time for him to try and get Luiz back in that squad and the team, and feeling like he's part of the side. I think you might see that against Karabag, but let's see. The last thing I want to talk about today is the winning run that Chelsea are now on. Now, they've won 4 Premier League games in a row, and Conte was asked after the game against West Brom whether or not he thinks Chelsea can match that 13-game winning streak from last season. You know, that winning streak where you have to say it played a huge role in Chelsea winning the title last season, and he's kind of keeping his hopes up that Chelsea can now continue to win games and kind of go on the streak of their own this season. Whether or not they match it is another story, but it's going to be hard for them because we've got Liverpool in the Premier League next Saturday, and Conte has kind of complained about the fixture list because they'll be coming back from Azerbaijan and get to play against Karabag early Thursday morning, something like 5 o'clock in the morning, and then they'll have to travel to Liverpool on the Friday. So he's already complained about the fixture list. He's not happy, but it's going to be hard. I'll be covering the game against Karabag and that game against Liverpool next week, so watch out for more video vlogs next week.